The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, Swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift Neo, you feel me? Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On the edge, vibes up, you feel me?
Swift Neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite. With up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display. With a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite, with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast street, cool moves, snap a pic, we groove, web slit, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes, let those big friends laugh and we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift neo.
You feel me? Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift neo, that's how we roll.
On stage, vibes up, you feel me? Swift neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast tweet, cool moves, snap a pic, we groove, web slid, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes like those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy all night. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo. You feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy on night. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
Don't see it, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite. With up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display. With a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite, with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast tweet, cool moves, snap a pic, we groove, web slid, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes like those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo. You feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On the edge, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, I welcome you all to the Acer Predator League 2026. The India qualifiers have been on fire for the last couple of days, where the battles between these teams have been absolutely amazing. And India's best teams are here looking for their slot in that global final in India itself, which is going to be. I am Universe, and with me I've got Oro, and we are going to be your casters for the first series. Oro, there have been a lot of matches that you've casted before me. Tell me about how
Yeah.
you're feeling about these matches.
First of all, thank you for the warm welcome, Universe. We have been excited for this league to begin with because every year it just becomes better with every game and every team coming by. So the way
Yeah.
this tournament has spanned out, we have seen some good amount of talent, and specifically to in those teams, who are pretty much being the underdogs are coming up front. Let's have a look at the format,
Mhm.
and we will talk about that because we started off with single elimination matches, which was the open qualifiers, which started from the 1st of September and went on till the 4th September. It was literally a brutal stage where single eliminations, we know that you don't get those chances as what to we see in these kind of lower brackets or the upper bracket situations. Universe.
Yeah, absolutely. And considering that it was a single elimination with best of ones, we've
Yeah.
had a lot of teams come through which were also considered to be extreme underdogs. Like, we had this one team called Heaven Esports, who unfortunately, although they made it to the top eight, did get eliminated very recently. Even 4KOB, another team that had the likes of Casper and A Star Hybrid, all they also were pretty
Yeah.
good. They also got eliminated, but we've got now our, I believe, top six who are going
Hmm.
forward. And in between that are these two teams, RAD Syndicate and Last Hope. Now, of course, these two teams will be facing off. They are in the lower bracket, and whoever wins
Yeah.
this will be heading to face off either one of Asterisk or Gangan Galaxy. But, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we do have a small little piece of news to deliver to you.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, due to tech issues, Last Hope, the team, has not been able to make it to their first map of this series, which has caused them to forfeit the first map. And that is going to now throw them into a handicap, because the second map, whatever it is, we will look at the veto after we come back again, of course, when that second map is going to begin. But for the moment, Last Hope, due to unfortunate situations, will be playing the second map directly, and the advantage now is in the hands of RAD Syndicate.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is something which we will begin with shortly. But then, before moving on towards a short little breather, I would want to tell you about Predator Helios Neo 16 Slim AI. The Predator Helios
Mhm.
Neo 16 Slim AI is the thinnest Predator we have ever built, crafted for gamers and creators who need to full scale performance in a sleek, ultra portable body. Don't let its size fool you. Inside a powerhouse packed with high performance CPUs, powerful GPUs, and a thermal system that keeps you cool while staying mobile. Along with that, I think we have something more to offer to you. If you are buying
Yeah.
a Predator Helios, you get a free gaming monitor, which is something which everybody want to latch on. So tap on the links in the description and check them out really quickly. We will come back after a short little breather. Till then, you can tap on the link in descriptions and have a look at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. Apologies on the delay, but we have gotten all of our players sorted. Now that we've got all our players on the server and ready to go, we will be starting with
Yeah.
map number 2, by the way. And map number 2 is going to be revealed to us in just about a second. But before that, let's show you guys who are the two teams playing. Of course, it is Last Hope and RAD Syndicate, in case people have forgotten the last half an hour, or for the people who are joining in. But now I'm going to have Oro tell us a little bit about these two teams. Oro, give me a little bit about your insight of these two teams, and also as we see the veto that we're going to be playing Lotus.
See, for the first time, I'll say Rat Syndicate has that experience in them because of those players they have. It Sings, we have Paradox, we have Tricky. We have seen them in past premium organizations. Now they're playing with a team called Rat Syndicate. Of course, they have named it, but then Last Hope is a team, you can't expect anything from this because they sometimes click and sometimes don't, because of which they've again found themselves on that lower bracket end. We need to also talk about the veto. Bind, of course, has been forfeited. We are really going to start with Lotus right now, which is a map pick of Rat Syndicate. And in previous experience, Rat Syndicate is a team who is looking a much more balanced side than Last Hope, because they have those players and they know what to do individually on that agents, right? For example, if Paradox is there, of lately we have seen Paradox start fragging again. He sometimes becomes pretty inconsistent, and that becomes a little bit of a concern. But then there were tournaments happening in and around Acer Predator League where he was performing good, though I think that Syndicate lost on few important matches which should have been won by them. But with that being said, it is Last Hope, so of course they would want to win this pretty easily, right, Universe?
Yeah, I mean, considering that they do have an advantage now, this should be a simple and easy game for them. But looking at the agent select here, we've got a double duelist, a Reina on the hands of Juggy, which is not a usual on this map. Probably
Yeah.
the first ever time I'm seeing a Reina, unless it's the usual rank games that we witness. But this seems like a very ranked-ish comp, and I like it honestly. I think these guys are very. Young. They have their aim about themselves. They are very frag oriented. They're very frag minded. So I don't think this is going to be any boring kind of a game. It's going to be a pretty entertaining game, especially considering if you've got a Reina and you've got a flying race behind it. It should be fun. On the other end, we've got a chamber in the works as well. We've got a single raise. UV is playing that chamber, and we've got Paradox, who's most likely the IGL of this team as well, who's been leading, because he is the most experienced. And I've spoken to him multiple times before where he's mentioned he likes trying to get his hands into the strategic part of the things now, because of course he's got that experience. He's a little bit older than his teammates, and I think that gives him the edge to kind of lead his team with calls.
Definitely. I mean, as expected, the Rat Syndicate looks like a much more balanced team right now, as well as on the agent composition screen as well. As you mentioned, that Reina looks like a pretty rankish pick, because you don't see Reina picks on Lotus, specifically in a competitive situation like this, where qualification is at stakes, and you should know that this isn't your best map pick. This you have been put on. So let's see how the situation turns for them. They start on the attackers half. Rat Syndicate, they would want to capitalize on this situation. This is where those rounds leaks, and the Last Hope, they just okay, relax starts good. UV was just shut down their universe, so good start for Last Hope.
Yeah, good start indeed. Lavish looking for another, is playing around the smoke, but they're not going away from your Garv. Instantly takes the trade down. We get it right through the smoke there, and that is unlucky. But Lavish asking for a smoke, wants to go past it and maybe make a play happen here. Garv has his eyes trained, ready for any sort of pushes. Not going to be the case. But while the meantime, that's an have gone back to clear out their backstab as a team. Garv is also keeping pretty much all tabs on the same inside, trying to keep their presence here continuously. That's all their motive is, to having Garv parked here. Another smoke, and Just a Kid does spot out at least two players there. He's going to call out Juggy to come and support him here, but not going to push in just yet. Tricky, jiggle spot, and an extra smoke just in case to cause more chaos. Juggy clears it out. might actually end up pushing it with Arena. Usually the confidence is pretty high to push these kind of smokes, but he's not going to. Pulls his ground and back towards A. They go.
Only Lavish is there to control the side, but they need to clear out this part first. They're going in for the direct plant. Oh my god.
Oh my
It was
God.
actually my bad on that. Lavish was taken out pretty easily. The girl's positioning is now going to be pretty crucial. I think he's going to climb up towards the rope and he's going to find one more. Oh no, he was expected and just a kid just traded him out at this point of time. Sinks with his flash, but the paranoia comes in. Slow him down. But this looks like a much more possible retake now, Universe. Oh my god, Chucky finds Paradox. Now, the advantage they created now suddenly looks into a disadvantage because of the situations and the post-plant positionings they took. Guff could have waited. I mean, sometimes those pushes aren't required, right? Okay, I think he was trying to surprise, but then the push was expected because he found out a fade, I think. Yeah, so Lavish who he took down. This is the point where, you know, he could have stopped himself. It was Xeon, I think, who he was trying to push over there. But then he couldn't convert, and I think that's where the leak started.
Yeah, he should have waited. They didn't yet, you know, confirm the tap on the spike because they had vision. They could have seen that the spike is not being stuck. But they went for the fight either way. Now, back on the attack towards A. Little bit of presence here, but UV absolutely destroys Ralak. That is a shot and a half from this youngster, and he's opened up that A side for his team. Paradox playing with a little bit of risk here. Teleports into his own smoke. Just a Kid does have an idea, a sleek bit of an idea, but now there's two players in that smoke, and he's not going to be ready for it. They get a third as well. Tricky finds two instead. I thought it was going to be Garv and Paradox, but no, Tricky was there as the third point of contact, and he ended up being the finisher. Juggy trying to establish a crossfire with his teammate, gets the first, but UV takes out Xeon on the back end, and that's going to leave Juggy alone in a 1v4. And now the push is imminent. Flash coming in from one side. He's trying to protect himself with his own flash, but it's not going to work out. Paradox gets them to flood him, and that's going to be RAD setting it, instantly hitting back thanks to a couple of crisp Sheriff and, of course, Chamber Sheriff shots.
You know, this is how they should have played the first round as well. RAD Syndicate knows that they messed up the first round, and that is why they were pretty proactive on the second one, right, Universe? And I think this is how the game should be. If they are wanting to be casual, of course, Last Hope has that caliber. They can punish you. They have that aim game going on. Considering the fact that how UV played in the last round, it was absolutely brilliant. On those shots, he got two. This time it looks like a C approach with that Prowler. Clears out the close quarter angles, but the vice wall is, of course, that Xeon is going to play a very crucial role here. He's going to play it slow. He doesn't have the weaponries to go with. This is going to be an eco round for Last Hope. Nice to sneak in inside that dark cover, but immediately repositions Universe.
Just wanted a bit of information. He's going to play along with the opponent's smoke. He's playing fireworks in between this because they're going to wait for a couple more seconds. They're going to trigger the sheer wall first, I'm pretty sure. But he triggers his flash.
Ooh, what?
The wall's been triggered, and that has been baited out. Xeon now exposed all by himself here. Has to watch his opponents just open the door and walk into B, while the smoke in front of him gives no real value. But B side also being given up over here. They're running back outside the door towards C now, and it's a good decision as well. Xeon's actually given up the side. Plant should be taken pretty easily here. A boombot just to make sure that his position's also been found, and they know that there's multiple people towards spawn as well. Plant down, it is a 5v5 retake.
Yeah, which is not going to be an easy retake with those weaponries not there. UV playing inside the smoke, picks up Ralak, uses the smoke to his advantage. Garv is expecting just a kid here. Just gonna wait. I think they did not want to commit, which is a good decision actually. Do not want to give those extra off points, which will just help RAD Syndicate to build on that economy. Hope, Last Hope on the other end. Chuggy, oh, he finds the second one. This time through the smoke, expecting that position. But then, will Singh's push in is the question. Chuggy! Oh no, this is not Chuggy, this is Lavish. Gets the second one. They will die, but I think they created value last hope. That wasn't the worst of the rounds, I would say, Universe, right? They have the economy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think dropping 3 weapons was pretty good. A little bit of an overstay from RAD Syndicate. They really didn't have to challenge through that smoke. Could have held on, could have just waited for those guys to come in through, or just could have let him die to the spike. It wouldn't have made that much of a difference. You already had gotten 3 kills by yourself anyway. But Juggy and Lavish combined for 3, and that has allowed them a slight touch of an economic boost, which now they're going to have to use to defend this A side, because that's exactly where RAD Syndicate hope on moving again. They take initial contact, but they've instantly fallen off towards their heaven region itself. So they're not really planning on playing for anything other than a retake here, because they know that the Raze has got his ultimate. So they're hoping that Garv is able to pull that out, and they're able to completely bait it out and dodge it. Not cause any harm to anybody here. Stun to make sure that Heaven's not going through, but Garv misses one, and he continues it with his bullets. The rocket doesn't connect, but his bullets do, and Paradox will also double up on that. The trade on Garv is here, but Juggy needs to be careful. UV's taken care of the flank once again. Not flank, actually, from the side of stairs. He's taken care of it once again. Juggy has been the hero. Takes another shot. A crisp flick onto Paradox's head. Didn't really need to fulfill that push there, Paradox. And now Juggy's got an opening. He's got a little bit of a timing, but he might be flanked here. He's unaware of the fact that somebody's just walked past him, and Tricky's going to catch him at that very moment. And that little trigger push is going to cause Ralak to go in for the save, but he's at 10 HP. Can he actually get away from here?
Trying to run away, of course, but his positioning is revealed. A lot of sounds being given because of the satchel and the revolving door universe. But then, yeah, the round will obviously be going in favor of RAD Syndicate. We have to say this, that only Juggy is the one who has been connecting his shots for the time being from the likes of Last Hope. And the way he has been using that Reyna, I think he needs to be much more proactive with that Reyna, because with Reyna, we already doubted the composition, right? Because you need to create your own space, and Reyna is a self-sufficient solo duelist kind of a play you can make. Other than that, I don't know what can more be done with that agent, like the way he has moved forward now. But now his position is gonna be stuck. Paranoia comes in along with that stun. What will also give his position, and exactly Paradox that sneaks in and completely shatters him. This is how you get shut down. The lead could have been used, but nothing was used over there for his support. But yeah, Juggy is out. You don't have the weaponry. You have only Sheriffs to go with. I think the 4th round will come up soon if there's nothing special coming in from Last Hope here.
Doesn't feel like it. UV, he's holding down the fort towards the spawn region. He's got staircase, but now the smoke's gonna allow a little bit of space for Xeon to move in, and that's exactly what he needed. 1 second. That's all the difference it needed. And Paradox now has to go on and plant the spike. His teammates are covering him from every angle, but Ralak's already found UV. This is a big push now. A flank coming in. RAD Syndicate are pretty much now stuck inside, and they need to create space. And to create that space, Paradox has pushed up towards Heaven. Gets the frag, and now they spotted 2 with the Nightfall as well. This is going to keep them behind for a little bit of time. Tricky. He's still ready for a fight. He's itching for it. He's not seen too many players, but he will shoot whatever he spots right now. Lavish goes down, and the last 2 remaining will have to again concede, it seems, and go for a save here. They have an AWP and a rifle, a Vandal, which is far more valuable in the next round than it is right now to give it up and try and fight for a spike that cannot be defused. And the save call has been made. Xeon looking for a couple more exit frags here. Might find one. Will fetch himself. Yep, he's going to get the one. A second. Not going to be possible.
Some moments of panic for RAD Syndicate there, but then I think they got it covered from the word go. Xeon, he did manage to get 1 pick through that smoke, and here he goes, he gets the second one. But then Last Hope, if they want to win this game, because they have already, for the viewers who are just joining in, they have lost, not lost actually, they have forfeited the first map, because of which RAD Syndicate has that 1 map lead. So if they're not winning this, we don't see the decider. It's just done and dusted, and they get eliminated directly, Universe. So that is something pretty concerning. and you miss out on the chance of qualifying for that Acer Predator League 2026, which is going to take place next year. But this round has been taken away again. Looks like Last Hope doesn't have the numbers game going on.
Chaos on A main, absolutely crazy. This one time, Last Hope tried to change their setup, go for an aggressive A fight. Unfortunately, they were stopped even before they could do anything. In terms of trade, they had 2 players available right outside the cavity of A main, where they were hoping to catch one player swinging off and maybe punish him, which was going to be UV, but he was good for the trade there. They were just not ready. And okay, a little bit of a self flash here. Zeon doesn't catch anybody up front and close, and that's another round that most likely is going to end up in a save. He is coming up close once again, hoping for maybe a weapon or two to be dropped, but it doesn't matter because that Syndicate have a great amount of cash in the bank right now. And I don't think it's going to make a difference no matter how many weapons they drop. Yeah, Sinks. He's going to get everything for himself. A stun. Perfectly placed and sets himself up for success. 5 to that Syndicate. And Last Hope, it seems like their hope is dwindling.
They at least need 4 to, if not 5, but at least 4 rounds for them on their, once the swap happens actually. We all know that one on Lotus attacking half is the stronger side, but then whoever plays the defensive side more carefully, or whoever loses out on fewer rounds on the defensive half, more likely wins on Lotus. So this is how things should be. But then with only 5-1 score going on, it's not the ideal situation for them. They have 3 ultimates. They have the Empress for quite a while now. Juggy, he has been shutting down for a while. They have the Steel Garden. Now he has been challenged. Now Garv has closed in pretty quickly. This Aftershock will, of course, slow down the Omen movement, which means this player, oh goodness me, he got stuck over there through the spray. There's a flank coming in. And again, numbers disadvantage continuously. They have the showstopper, but that is of no help for the time being. Just a kid finished off. The only man is Ralak with that judge. I mean, they're out of confidence, right? You see Rays flying in and flying off through the map. He's not the first point of contact. He's not, the way they have been chasing in C. C has been pretty much left quiet, one moment before this pick comes in. Stun prettily placed again. Just like the last round, how Sinks did it. He cleans things up. But yeah, they have been constantly changing things up. Either they're going A or C. But Zeon has not clearly been able to hold off that angle. He needs the support, and that is not happening. And for him to support also Universe, they don't have the economy, right? So with those sheriffs, I don't think much value can be created.
Yeah, it's because they're winning, lose. I mean, they're playing every round. It's a buy, they lose, it's an eco. They lose, it's a buy, they lose, it's an eco. So they're at their max loss bonus, but it's not really helping them. This round should be different though, in my opinion, because they've got 5 ultimates to use, and Ralak has taken off the first pick finally without needing one. There was a couple of players tagged down here, but Rat Syndicate once again looking for that opening on A. Have lost 2 important players here. Their spearhead and their cover. Now, with both the initiators and a sniper, they're going to have to try and hold on outside of this A main side. Juggy, though, will tear up another one. Tricky had no reason or rhyme to go out that smoke, but he does choose to do so. And it seems like now the confidence is wearing a little bit off on the overside. 2 versus 4. No need to do anything more here. Last Hope. Just sit behind your smokes because you've got a flank coming in as well. You know that everybody has got their positions rightly placed. You have nothing to worry about unless you push and give up your life yourselves. And that's exactly what they've not done. They've gone back, playing in better positions, and now playing just for the round.
Yeah, Black Syndicate, they're just wanting players to peek in because they have that operator online. There's an option of the tour de force, but I don't think he will commit that. UV is the one who's opted for that chamber, and he's been doing good. It's a better option to go for a save because he would want to save that operator. And this is a good round for Last Hope. So for a change, without using any ultimate, They got those early picks, which is what you said, right? Which gave them that advantage. Now they can hope for a comeback, right? They have all those ultimates. They have that Empress. They have that Nightfall. Also the Showstopper, the Steel Garden, and from the Shadows, of course. So the retake is also possible because of the Showstopper and the Steel Garden being present. So this is just last hope, who needs to plan things out and execute the round, and I think they can win the next two as well, because if they lose out on this, the economy will go on a toll for RAD Syndicate at least.
Once again, they're not afraid of challenging this A main side, it seems. They don't really care about what's coming their way, but they probably should. A little bit of counter utility, and they've got an ultimate coming their way. They dodge it though, and Ralak gets caught out this time around. Jucky will get the trade back. Paradox has left for this round, but there's still 4 more players on each side to try and stop this, including which they've got a Steel Garden and a Nightfall, last hope, which should serve as a great purpose for a retake. But Juggy, I don't think he's in the mood for a retake here. He can switch on that Empress and go into Carnage mode, but RAD Syndicate has started walking in towards B-Link now. Just a kid, he's constantly got his eye there, but this 1 second might give away the shop here, and they've now gotten the B side in their hands. RAD Syndicate can go for a simple plant here, while UV is holding down the back line. But they're still holding, they're just waiting, looking for a mistake to be made from their opponent's side. And now that they've got a little bit of map control, they've found a free kill because Lavish is looking in a direction that he did not expect would be covered. And that's because Just a Kid had to give up the B site. And UV's found Juggy as well on rotation. And as we see, patience of that little bit of time for not planting the spike has proven to be very useful. Map control was prioritized, and that map control now has clearly awarded them the round.
Oh no. There's Aftershock, there's Boom Ball, a lot of utilities, because of which he has lost HP. Xeon doesn't have his garbage, just playing with him. Yeah, you can do all of that. UV finds one more. Xeon gets shut down. I mean, they should have passed on that information. Once the Omen knew that they have made it their way towards that site. Poor Lavish. He was looking at CT, expecting that somebody would push from A, but that did not happen. Garf pushed towards B upper, and he found Lavish. Was not even watching that angle.
After a certain point, you would expect that, you've been told that the B side is empty. They've not planted, by the way. They didn't even plant. It was like about 15 seconds, 10 seconds almost that went by there. Lavish should have been able to expect that, but now what's happened, and here comes UV with 2 players in front of him. A Lear to push him off, but he's going to be able to get away scot-free. No problem for him. But the B side's been already taken control of. They've gotten 1 frag, and instantly they changed their direction. They're trying to threaten the C side as well. Xeon trying to give back a little bit of his firepower, but he's brought down to 45 HP. A nade makes him 13, and Showstopper will make him down all the way to 0.
I mean, this is a problem, Universe, because the way the Haunt has been used from RAD Syndicate side, and constantly, I think people expect, of course, people do push with the Haunt, but then you can completely hear that the players are far away. Only the Raze has used his Showstopper. He is on that satchel, but then you should have broken the Fade Haunt. Some percentage would have increased for his survival, but he was focused on running away. This team looks like they want to dodge those utilities rather than, just fighting up front, not looking confident at all. This is what we expected as well from Lotus. This looks like this game is done for, but we'll still wait for the comeback to come in. Good trade from Ralak from that Master Universe.
Yeah, but he's going to try and dodge whatever he can in the process of doing so. Gets caught by either utility or by bullets. There was no way of survival there. And last hope, although they've still got those ultimates usable, that Steel Garden can be very, very useful in this situation. But they're going to have to need his presence in this side because he's so far away. But Lavish makes it slight bit easier. Only for a couple of seconds though. Gar will take him out, and that's going to be RAD Syndicate with 9 on the board. And just now 4 rounds away from sealing this series.
Should I tell you a fact? if I'm not wrong, Juggy has hold on to that Empress for almost like five rounds now. He has not even used it.
I think everybody's held on to the ultimate. Nobody's using it at all from Last Hope side, and now it's the final round. And now, even if they use his ultimate, it feels like it's not going to be that much of use because even RAD Syndicate have big ultimates available now.
Correct.
So this is going to be a very, very scrawny round for, again, Rala gets caught off straight off the bat here. And Juggy, while he's finally enabled that Empress, he's in a completely different part of the map. He's going to have to make a long journey to come on that flank. Or he's going to be worried about B-Link, and that's exactly where he's coming from. In the meantime, the Nightfall going to be activated right as RAD Syndicate enter the site. But they've got the plant down, and now they've got a Rolling Thunder and Nightfall themselves as well.
Okay, the Steel Garden being committed. Just a kid got the good trade of Curve. They have the numbers in control for the time being, but the Rolling Thunder has also been used because of that Nightfall. The positions are revealed. They know that the players are playing from Garden, but the paranoia comes at the correct time. The spam will come in with that Empress. Why is Chucky wanting to hold? He has that lead. He should have used it much earlier. Oh, Chucky. Goodness me, he has messed up things. 1v2 possibility of 2 beyond. He almost clutched it, but then Tricky had got it covered. Scoreline will leap on to 10-2 with nothing much left for the team's Last Hope right now.
Yeah.
Look at how Juggy played that round. He was on that Empress from the word go. He was holding towards B main, and he came in holding the smoke. He could have used that lead to his advantage much earlier. I don't know what was he holding for.
I think he could have held it on, but it is what it is. And RAD Syndicate clearly the Apex Predators here. They're not going to be shut down no matter what. And the 10-2 half in their hands is only going to make this series that much easier and sweeter, having one map already in their hands. It's basically a glorified best of one at this point, unless a miraculous comeback is in the works here. UV. He will be spotted. Oh my god. Well, that's the butcher right there. A clean swipe right across Juggy's head, and that's going to be him taken out. Tricky finds one more as well. It's just absolute chaos right now, and RAD Syndicate are right now enjoying this entire map.
Oh my god.
Everywhere they push, everywhere they find a kill. It is pandemonium. And on the back of which, RAD Syndicate, while they find their 11th round, you should also, guys, know that you can, of course, play like them if you've got the Predator Helios Neo 16 AI, which, with the Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, 275HX, and the NVIDIA GeForce 5070 RTX graphics card, the Helios Neo 16 AI tears through games like a panther on the prowl, just like RAD Syndicate are doing right now. And you can experience this with a 240Hz refresh rate screen that tracks every move with the precision of a hunting hawk. And with that same precision, it seems like they want to end the game now. But Last Hope going the right direction. They've got a free B side. But as I said, UV comes in, opens the door. He's got no fear, does he? He's got absolutely no fear.
Yeah, absolutely. And he gets another one. Just hiding behind the box. The positions are expected. These players have no confidence right now. Match point and the game point for RAD Syndicate comes up really quickly. With nothing left in this game. Last Hope, they would want to come back much stronger. A lot of in-lab is needed. Along with that, I think a lot of smarter executions and the agent compositions also needed to be sorted out, because you cannot come into a tournament, specifically into a lower bracket, facing a team like RAD Syndicate, who is much more experienced. At least all the players have at some time played in a tier 1 organization and knows what happens in this tier at least. We'll expect this positioning curve. He missed out. Rare miss by him, but he doesn't miss this time. He gets one more. Ignores. Oh my god, he ignored the boom bot. Tried to get one more, but he didn't find Tricky with that Bucky. Oh, not Tricky actually. That was Ralak who had that Bucky there. But Lavish and Xeon, this time the trades are there. UV. Oh no. Took down that player. But then Xeon managed to finish him as well. And this time, the round goes in their favor. After a long wait, we see Last Hope with the third round.
Yeah, while they get a third round, and I like the understanding of the fact that there's at least two outlaws on the other side. Maybe a third could be bought in, so full armors were very much required, and they did so, finding themselves a third. But this is not going to be going their way any more than maybe one more round at best, because you've got UV and Paradox on the other end now, throwing down one of their one-way smokes, but that's also been countered already. Bunch of spam to the smoke. They know UV's here, and UV's gonna get taken out as well. Paradox has to give up this cavity, and Juggy is gonna make him pay for his backtracking as well. Garv wants to play a little bit riskily. Gonna have to go back. Plant's gonna come down, and RAD Syndicate now in a 4v3 though do have a Nightfall to allow this retake to occur.
Possibility. One more could have been converted. The night wall could have been used, but now Garv, he has to take a fall back. Crawler used from Last Hope's side. These players pushed much more deeper into the CT side. Sinks, ooh, he still managed to get one. Okay, Garv jumps in, but we have to wait till the game finishes off. But then, of course, as Universe, you mentioned about Predator, Helios, Neo 16A. I've got one more. We have a lot of options, right? This time, I will speak about Nitro Light 16, a bold new look for the battlefield. The Acer Nitro Light 16 drops in the clean white finish and the firepower to back it up. Powered by up to 13th gen Intel Core processors and up to NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4050 graphics card. This machine does not just keep up, it takes over. The 40.60 centimeter, which is 16 inches, it has a WXGA IPS display, pushes 165 Hz for ultra smooth frames, while a dual fan, dual intake, dual exhaust thermal system keeps things cool. When the action heats up, WASD keys and stand out for fast finger placements, and the dedicated co-pilot key brings instant access to AI tools built for speed. Just tap on the link to find more details and you can grab onto Nitro Light 16. But then RAD Syndicate again into a number disadvantage. But then, okay, Paradox gets two, and look at how Sinks managed to bring things back in favor of RAD Syndicate. Looks like a possibility, but Xeon shuts everybody down. Converts this round back in favor of Last Hope. So finally a fight back coming in, at least when their backs are against the wall for Last Hope.
Yeah, Last Hope did execute it a little fast, just like how you mentioned the speed of the Nitro Light 16, but for the moment they do have another round that they've put up, 5 on the board. And on the opposite side, while they have weapons at the ready, Garv has to play with the Sheriff and will have an ultimate on the back of it to support himself as well. UV, as soon as he finds a frag, maybe could shift over that Vandal to his Raze, but nobody's going to be challenging him there. B seems to be the point of attraction for the attacker side, who have a Nightfall and a Steel Garden available. And rightly so, RAD Syndicate have gone in for a full retake approach on B once again. Ralak already taking control of Heaven. That's a lot of map control established very early on onto this side. And now it's up to RAD Syndicate to come on the flank here. They have a Nightfall and they have a showstopper to allow this. UV though will be challenged, will be the victor as well. Dodges the Steel Garden, now pushes further along as his teammates punch in from the other side as well. But Juggy stands strong. Back comes Ralak on that long-standing flank that he did from Heaven. And now Paradox just sticking on the defuse. He's actually going all the way through with it, and Sinks supports him. It's a 1v1, and Sinks has already got a half defuse spike. He's gonna wait for Ralak to peek out, but the time's not his friend. Takes out the Sheriff, will not kill him, will kill him. And with this, I think he's won the game as well. RAD Syndicate with what a climactic win here.
Wow, Universe, what a round. I mean, for a second I thought RAD Syndicate won it comfortably, but Juggy made sure they pull it back. He almost got 4K in that round, if not 3. But then Sinks was there to cover for RAD Syndicate. He converted the last pick with that Sheriff. He knew that he doesn't have any bullets left on that Phantom. The presence of mind, Universe, was so amazing, and that is why I think this team needed to win, and they were the deserving winners of this lower bracket game, and they will move ahead. Unfortunately, Last Hope cannot move ahead, and they will bow out of this Acer Predator League 2026 India qualifiers for the time being.
Yeah, who knows what could have happened, what would have transpired if that first map was maybe,
Yeah.
played. Could have been a different story. Maybe we would have seen Last Hope probably feel a little more confident, a little more comfortable. But unfortunately, we've always got problems that end up happening. But I hope that this doesn't discourage them. They can, of course, try again, next year when the Acer Predator League comes back. And hopefully that they have gotten a great experience from playing in this competition. And now we will be watching this Rats India team go up against one of either Asterisk or I believe Gang and Galaxy, which is going to be very, very interesting as well. Even those two
Yeah.
teams have got very good players. Asterisk, of course, we saw them yesterday. They did lose to S8UL, but those boys at Asterix are very capable, and so are the people at Gang and Galaxy, because even those players have shown that individually they can stand up, but can they do so against Asterix, who are right now, in my opinion, at least still in a good form, even though they lost to S8UL?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I have to mention the fact that addition of Antidote as a coach has worked and paid off for them.
Yeah.
I recently had a chance to talk with him, and he said we are taking things pretty slow, and we're taking match by match and tournament by tournament. And this time they are very serious about Acer Predator League 2026, and they won that slot, right? This is the Asia Pacific thing which is going to happen. It's
Yeah.
an opportunity for these players and any organization, to represent your country. So that is a moment of pride, of course. But with that being
Yep.
said, of course, the lower bracket match happened. We also have another game coming up in the evening. We'll talk about that later, but we'll have to watch the scoreboard, which is going to come right in front of our screens. We know that the game was pretty one-sided, on Lotus, where Rat Syndicate had their moments and they were on a roll. Specifically, UV, from the word go, he
Yeah.
connected that headhunter shot and showcased that he was up for a motive, that he wanted to be or showcase that on that chamber he can do wonders. Because in the current meta, I feel chamber is a lot overpowering than many other sentinels, because you can use that agent as a duelist as well.
Yeah, more or less on Lotus A main, when you're on the attack, it is a free agent to get out with, even stronger than Yoru in my opinion when you want to go for that. But clearly UV knows how to utilize not just the getaway card but also the weapon as well. He had 7 first bloods as well in that map, and an ACS of close to 320 and almost 200 damage per round. UV very clearly the MVP. Since his time at G Academy, clearly he's only growing better. He's only getting to become a more seasoned player, although still very, very young. So UV, he's got a lot more to prove. He does have maybe 2 more games to go before he can maybe go into that final, where again we should remind you viewers that only one team is going to be going to that Asia Pacific final, which is also going to be held in India itself. But to reach that Bangalore final, I think they have to win 2 more games at the very least. The next one could be against Asterisk or the Gangan Galaxy. But for now, we have watched a very exciting one mapper, which was, of course, pretty one sided, but a lot of action, a lot of team fights, and so much utility, that was bombarding our screens. But I hope all of you have enjoyed this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, because we have more coming in store for you. There's another game, like Oro mentioned, at 7 p.m., which is Asterix versus Ganga Galaxy. And one of those two teams will now be facing Rad Syndicate in the next round of the lower brackets. Oro, what thoughts do you have about that game?
I think Asterix versus Gangan Galaxy is going to be a match in our hands, because both of those teams are having that potential, and the players, who can just turn the day on their day. Specifically, Asterix, with the kind of the form they are in at this point of time, and
Yep.
they would want all the players to be in form. Specifically, Knight Rider for Gangan Galaxy, he has to be the man who needs to function well. He did pretty well on the first day. I saw them against Heaven Esports, if I'm not wrong, and they literally decimated that team. But then Heaven Esports and Asterix is a different ball game. Of course, it's a much more quality side. But before we end things on today's stream, I would want to mention one more, Swift series, because you get a chance to win a free sling bag. But Swift Lite 14 AI is something which you want to get your hands on. It is smarter tech, sleeker design. You have that ultra light, ultra fast AI sidekick. Fire up the dedicated co-pilot key and let built-in intelligence handle the heavy lifting with a 1.1 kg metal body, a vibrant OLED WX GA display, and super slim 15.9 profile. This PC is built to think fast, to look sharp, and even more faster. So tap on the link, and you can check out everything on the description. Links are given below.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, with every Swift series purchase that you make, you get an Acer sling bag for free every time. And also, when you purchase the Predator Helios line, you get a gaming monitor free. And not just this, if you've got your specific banks in those links mentioned when you go check it out, you could get cashbacks up to 5,000 and maybe discount offers of up to 15,000 rupees as well. So there's so many offers up for grabs here. Just go ahead and check out all the descriptions down below. Ace is providing you absolute banger of a deal, and if you guys are not picking this up right now, you might be missing out on your opportunity to maybe be in the next Acer Predator League. You could be the next pro here. Maybe the difference between you making it to Immortal 3 Radiant and you being where you are right now, maybe in Ascendant, or even if you're in Diamond, could be this very laptop. I'm dreaming, of course, like, because I don't know if I could make it, but it's a step in the right direction. So maybe you could do that. But for today, ladies and gentlemen, we are basically done and dusted. We have another game coming up, and I hope you guys will be joining us for that. But until then, we are going to be saying goodbye. Just a couple of hours. We'll be back right here at 7 p.m. Yeah, so be sure to log in and come back and see what Asterisk and Gang Galaxy have in store for us. We'll be back at 7 p.m. Bye-bye.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast tweet, cool moves, snap a pic, we groove, web slid, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes, let those big friends laugh and we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Click, sleek, with Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo. You feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow.
Turn it with every tap and blow.
Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On the edge, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.